Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. In this video, I wanted to explore some of the meanings of the rune Tiwaz. I often find myself explaining brief rune meanings to people during a reading, as most don't know anything about runes and have never had a rune reading before. And after reading for a time, I've developed a quick explanation for each of the runes, and I use those repeatedly when discussing runes to the clients. I try to paint a picture of the rune's meaning in the client's mind without going into a long explanation of each rune, because you just don't have time. But sometimes I'll find a new descriptor for a rune, as if the rune opens up to me and explains its meaning even further. So let's talk about Tiwaz. The basic meanings of this rune include legalities, justice, feelings of fairness, and it also signifies self-sacrifice. And it can also mean a male in a relationship. Now, Tiwaz is a rune related to the Norse god Tyr and his story. The story of him sacrificing his hand in the jaws of the great wolf Fenrir is well known and easily relatable to the self-sacrificing aspect. But one thing to realize is that Tyr was also a war god, and that this rune can relate to strategy and tactics in a situation. Like the war rune with the generals looking down on the map of the battlefield, one can take a higher perspective at the situation. Or, like a raven flying over the battlefield, looking down at both sides, noticing those advantages and disadvantages, the strengths and weaknesses of both sides, and observing options and seeing the full situation clearly. Also, as a war god, one would think that Tyr did not make emotion any part of the battle plan. So taking emotion out of any situation, taking that higher look at things and basing your reaction not on emotion but strategy, is another way Tiwaz could be offering you guidance. Now, Tiwaz could be telling you that emotions are clouding your judgment, and that the situation at hand is important enough to look at all sides and base those reactions on that information. Then look at how the other meanings of Tiwaz play into your reaction to the situation, such as self-sacrifice, feelings of fairness, justice, injustice, legalities. Now, how would taking the emotion out of your battle plan make a difference? How would you feel if you could set aside the stress of a situation and get on with other parts of your life, since a battle plan has been made, instead of emotionally chewing on it all night, all hours of the night, when there's nothing you can do about it? Tiwaz asks that you save that energy for the battle and rely on your intuition and courage to see the plan through. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little dip into Tiwaz. I encourage you to read up on the story of Tyr and Fenrir and see how you yourself relate to this powerful and protective rune. Bye for now, Rune Weavers.